Hello teachers, learners, and parents. Sir Jeff po, at your service. Alam nyo ba na meron tayong website na tinatawag na DepEd Commons? Ang DepEd Commons ay binuo upang gawing accessible ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral dito sa ating bansa gamit lamang ang inyong mga smart devices gaya ng cellphones, tablets, at computers. Dito ay maaari nating ma-access ang iba't ibang learning materials mula sa Department of Education. Meron itong mga interactive materials, electronic self-learning modules, at instructional video lessons mula sa DepEd TV na tiyak na makatutulong sa pag-aaral ng mga mag-aaral galing ka man sa public o private school. Walang problema dahil welcome ang lahat dito. Para ito sa mga guro, magulang at mga mag-aaral mula sa kinder hanggang grade 12, alternative learning system o ALS, at pati na rin ang special education. At huwag kang mag-alala dahil kahit walang load ay maaari mong ma-access ang mga learning materials. Tama! Libre ito. Ang kailangan mo lamang gawin ay i-on ang iyong data at buksan lamang ang iyong browser at i-type ang commons.deped.gov.ph. Alam na ba ng iyong mga kasamahang guro o mag-aral ang tungkol sa DepEd Commons? I-share mo na ang video na ito upang matuto rin sila kung paano gagamitin ang DepEd Commons sa mabilis at napakadaling paraan. Muli, ito po si Sir Jeff at kita-kits po tayo sa DepEd Commons. Paalam!
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive, and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Hello! Good morning, everyone! It's nice to be back. A pleasant business Friday once again, and I'm back for another episode of ETUlay for Fundamentals of Accountancy, Business, and Management 2. We are already in our third week for the second quarter. Pero bago po tayo magsimula para po sa ating lesson for today, let me first greet those people who are with us today from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Nagpapasalamat po ako sa araw-araw o every Friday po na lagi po kayong nandito para po kami ay samahan at matuto. Anyway po, ako po si Tutor Carmi from SDO May Kawayan. Kamusta po sa aking mga ka-SDO May Kawayan from May Kawayan National High School? Of course, I want to greet all the students I have here. Ang aking mga ka-ETUlayers. Ayan, ETUlayers na talaga eh. Okay, let's have here Mia Dayan. Hello mga anak. Leonora Flores Unay. Sheila May Espinosa. And of course, I want to special mention, of course, my Dr. Edward Jimenez, our Educational Program Supervisor from SDO May Kawayan. Maraming salamat, sir, sa iyong panunood sa araw na to. And I'm very excited na isa ka sa mga nanonood sa programa ng ETUlay. Yan. So, also, let me have Jean Cancera. Medyo madami na tayong mga kasama. Aisel Tugbo, Christy Hunsay, Rowella Palermo. Ito po ay mga from May Kawayan National High School. Ayan, nag-join force po sila sa pagsuporta para sa ating Fundamentals of Accounting, Business, and Management 2. Nakakatuwa po talaga. I hope that you learned from Ma'am Carol last week, no? Sobrang exciting po yung tinuro niya po sa atin about bank reconciliation. Ako po, I myself po, kahit po hindi niya ako kasama, nasa likod niya ako during that time at sobra pong marami pa rin akong mga natutunan pa rin sa kanya. And I hope this episode will also give you more another perspective about accounting. So may mga bago akong ituturo sa inyo. Ito po ay napaka-essential sa buhay natin. Why? It is because of, it is our responsibility in our nation. Mamaya po yan, ibibigay ko po sa inyo kung ano na po yan. Sige. Okay, let me share with you my slides. Yan. So our objective for today is, of course, kanina sinabihan ko na po kayo no, kung ano yung magiging, ano po yung ating topic for today. So it is all about po taxation. So, ito po, magmumukha po tayong mga certified public accountant na ngayon kasi marami kayong matututunan on how are you going to compute income taxation. Tapos po, meron po kayong, some of the things that we have to do also is tuturuan ko po kayo kung paano po mag-fill up nung mga forms, BII forms, na which is talagang ginagawa po talaga in the industry practice. Wow, diba? Are you excited? I am very excited to share with you that. So, let's have now our objective for this day. Number 1, our objective is, of course, let's have first the theory and the concept of taxation. No? So, let's define income and business taxation and its principle and processes. Then, we are also going to explain the principles and purposes of taxation. This is very important, lalong-lalo na if you will be endeavoring into a business. And of course, if you are going to work. Kasi po talaga pong tax is our responsibility. And yung pagkakaroon mo ng knowledge po about, the basic knowledge about tax will help you, of course, know what your cash flow, the in and out of your money or in and out of your cash. So yan, sige po, let's start. So, bago po tayo magsimula, let's have first a review of our past lesson. So, ito'y tungkol po doon sa pinag-aralan po ninyo, tungkol po doon sa bank reconciliation po, na in-impart po sa inyo ng aking mentor na si Ma'am Carol. Ayan. So, number 1, you can use the chat box for your answer, for your comment. Okay po, pwede po kayo doon maglagay po ng inyong mga naiisip. Okay? Everything that you have on your mind, be free but make sure that you are responsible when you are doing it. Okay? So, our review will be circle the letter of the correct answer. Siyempre, as if naman na talaga masisirculan, no? Pero, lagay natin yung answer natin doon po sa ating comment box. So, number 1, okay, let me read with you the questions. Which of the following is not a reconciling items of the book? Yan. Nandito na tayo, nagre-review na tayo ng ating bank reconciliation lesson last week. Okay, which of the following is not a reconciling item of the books? Okay, I have here a lot of answers coming from Daniela, Justin Fego, Danisa Verbo, and Alyssa. And lahat sila ay sumagot ng letter D. Is that the correct answer? Correct. Ang galing. Mukha talagang natuto tayo kay Ma'am Carol, no? Very good, no? Then number 2, a bank charges deducted to bank is also known as a credit memorandum, B, debit memorandum, C, book errors, D, deposit in transit. O ano ba yung other name for bank charges kung hindi siya nakalagay doon sa ating mga bank statement? Ano yung nakalagay doon sa ating bank statement? Okay, letter? Yes, very good. Arlene Ramirez, Vince Panganiban, Mariali Francisco, very active student, no? Kung siguro kung estudyante ko, mga with highest honor to, no? Okay? Is that the correct answer? It's letter B, debit memorandum. Okay, let's have now number 3. So what is the correct adjusting entries to record the notes received in the bank? Okay, ang nag-receive nito ay yung bangko para sa'yo, no? Kasi you are their client. So, gagawan mo, of course, yan ng adjusting entries. What will be the correct adjusting entries for that? Letter A. Yung DR is debit yan, ha? DR, debit, cash, credit, interest revenue. B, debit, cash in bank, credit, bank charges. C, debit, cash in bank, credit, notes receivable. D, debit, accounts receivable, credit, cash. What is the correct adjusting entries for if the bank received a notes for you? Okay, tignan ko nga, mukhang may number 3. Let's see kung tama ang sagot. Tama ba ang ating mga sagot? Letter C, very good. Opo, kasi magkakaroon ng increase o magkakaroon ng pera sa ating bangko. And of course, sa ating libro po, mawawala na po yung notes receivable po natin. So, it will be credited po sa ating libro. So, yun po ang tamang adjusting entries. At nakatama po dyan, ang una ko nakita tumama ay si Vince Panganiban from Mekawayan National High School. Then, number 4, which of the following reconciling item does not require adjusting entries? Sa mga reconciling item na nandito po, ano daw po dito yung hindi nagre-require ng adjusting entries? Letter A, credit memorandum. B, debit memorandum. C, NSF check. D, outstanding check. Sige nga, titignan ko uli. Number 4. Okay, let's have here Danisa Castillo Verbo. Ayan, di ba? Buong-buong pangalan. Tama po kaya ang kanyang sagot. It's letter D, outstanding checks. Why? Why do we need to have a reconciling, adjusting entries for that? Because it is already recorded in the book of the business. Hindi mo na siya kailangan gawan ng adjusting entries. Okay? Then next po, our last number. What adjusting entries you will do to correct the payment issued by the business to its supplier? Okay. So ano daw yung adjusting entries that you will do to correct daw yung check payment issued by the business to its supplier? Nag-issue si business sa kanyang supplier. Okay, letter A, debit, expense, credit, cash. Letter B, debit, accounts payable, credit, cash. C, no adjusting entry shall be made. D, none of the above. I'm talking about adjusting entries, ha? Sige, tignan natin. Mukhang nahihirapan silang kanina parang bilis magsagot eh. Ayan, parang mabibilis magsagot kanina, parang ngayon, parang, ay, ano ba yung ginawa ni ma'am? Okay. Nagbigay ka ng cheque para sa bayad sa iyong supplier. Meron ka pa bang adjusting entries? Okay, sige, tignan natin. So, let's reveal the answer. Letter C, no adjusting entry shall be made. Hindi na po kailangan po ninyong maggawa ng adjusting entries. Bakit po? Kasi it is already recorded in your book. At of course, nung ginawa mo yung cheque, meron na po yung entries talaga. At hindi po adjusting entries. Journal entries po ang ginagawa po natin doon. Okay, so I think that gives you enlightenment. Okay, let's start now our lesson. Okay, so today we are going to talk about taxation, and we are of course I will going to acquaint you about the 3 inherent power of the state. Wow, ano po ito ma'am, yung mga parang naririnig ko na to ma'am sa mga social studies namin. Yes, sa social studies po maririnig po talaga po ninyo to about the 3 inherent power of the state. Ano ba yung kapangyarihan ng estado na ipinapataw sa kanyang mga nasasakupan? Wow, very Tagalog, no? So, number 1, let's talk about police power. Police power, power of eminent domain, and power of taxation. So, mamaya bigyan na natin ngayon ng emphasis this following inherent power of the state. When we talk about police power, we are referring to the power of the state to enact laws for promotion of public safety and order, public health, public morals, education, and general welfare. yung isa sa kapangyarihan ng Estado ay ang gumawa pa po ng isang batas para sa kanyang mga nasasakupan upang maging safe. Okay, maging safe yung kanyang mga nasasakupan. Of course, the government, that is one of their responsibility, is to keep safe of their people. No, so that is a natural power coming from them. So when we talk about police power, nangyari ito sa atin during the quarantine time. No, hindi tayo pinalabas, tapos may mga curfew po silang pinatupad, may mga pinagagamit silang face shield. So these are considered police power. Why? Because they want to keep their people safe. And that is their power as a government. Okay? Power of eminent domain. Okay? Ano ba itong power of eminent domain? The power of the state to take private property for public purposes, upon payment of just compensation. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin nun? So, ibig sabihin po nito, for example, the government has a project, the build project. No? Ang gagawin niya, may mga, kunwari sa build project niya, may mga private property po doon na maaapektuhan in case po na gawin nila yung proyekto na to. So they, of course, have a power to get that property from the person. Kahit po sabihin po natin, alam niyo po, wala po tayo talagang property dito sa Pilipinas. No? Pag ginusto po ng gobyerno na kunin po yan sa inyo para sa kanilang for public purposes, they will do that. Pero po, syempre po, just naman din po ang ating government. No? Of course, they have to pay. Okay? They have to give you just compensation for the property that they will get from you. So, yun po yung eminent domain, no? So, kapag ito ay wala po tayong magagawa kundi ibigay po sa gobyerno kung ano po ang dapat sa kanila, ano pong dapat para po sa kanil para po sa public welfare. So, that is the power of eminent domain. Now, when we talk about ito po, power of taxation. Okay, may kapangyarihan ang Estado na magpataw ng buwis. So, ito po ay hindi po by heart lang nating gagawin. It is our responsibility because it was actually levied to us. No? Ipinapataw to sa atin. The power of the state to exact proportional contribution from its people to cover the cost of government expenditure. Ibig sabihin po, hihingi po ng kapiranggot. Ayan, dapat ganun po talaga yung term, no? Proportional. So, kapiranggot po ang gobyerno natin para po sa kanilang mga government expenditures. Kasi po, hindi po mag-work ang government if they don't have, of course, money or cash. Alam naman po natin yun. So, that is for their operation. They will use, of course, the buwis or the collection of that sa ating public welfare or public use, for public use. Then, taxation. So when we talk about taxation, bigyan na natin siya ng definition. It is actually the inherent power of the state to demand contribution to raise revenue for public or government expenditure. Kailangan po nating magbayad ng buwis po natin dahil po ito ay ginagamit, okay? Ito po ay ginagamit for public or government expenditure. So the taxation is the process. We are referring to the process, the whole process of collection, assessment. So yun po yung taxation. But when we talk about tax, we are referring to yung po yung binabayad natin. So the enforced proportional contribution from the person and property. So kanino po siya kumukuha ng tax? Sa tao po at sa mga property po natin. So kapag mayaman po tayo, mas malaki po talaga ang ating contribution, ang ating ambag. So lagi niyo siguro naririnig yun, no? Ma'am, may ambag ba kami sa Pilipinas? Meron po. Hanggat ikaw ay nagbabayad ng buwis at hanggat ikaw ay bumibili, nagko-consume ka, you have a contribution. May ambagang ganap po talaga. So, the tax is actually levied by the lawmaking body. O pag sinabi natin lawmaking body, sino ba yung mga gumagawa ng batas? Siyempre po, ito po ang legislative, no? The Congress and the senators. Yan, sila po yung gumagawa ng batas about the taxation po. So, and of course, again po, babalik po tayo para saan po ginagamit uli ang tax? Ginagamit po ito for public needs. So, let me introduce to you to the Philippine taxation. So, lahat po tayo siguro we are very familiar with the Bureau of Internal Revenue. So, ito po ang, sabihin na natin po, ang ahensya ng pamahalaan which of course supervise and of course collect taxes from its people. So, this is under the Department of Finance. Okay? Ang mandate sa kanila ng Department of Finance ay kumolekta. Kumolekta po sila ng buwis. Okay? At the same time po, hindi lang po kumolekta. They are the one also doing the assessment. Okay? Tapos pag may mga tax evasion cases po, sila din po ang nag-aasikaso nun. So they of course have the supervisory power and the police power. Okay, next. Now, sige, bigyan ko lang din po kayo ng sino po yung ating commissioner sa BIR ngayon. Si Cesar Dulay. As of the moment, si Cesar Dulay po ang ating commissioner for internal revenue. Pinalitan niya po si Kim Henares. Siguro po, familiar din kayo kay Kim Henares. Si Kim Henares po yung lagi pong naniningil kay Manny Pacquiao. Ayun. Basta nanalo si Manny Pacquiao, may meme po yan si Kim Henares. Ngayon po si Cesar Dulay po ang ating BIR commissioner. Then, let me introduce to you the Republic Act 10963. Okay? So, ano po ba ito? Siguro, you are also familiar with this. It was imposed and na-implement po January 1, 2018. Meron na po tayong tinatawag na Tax Reform, Acceleration, and Inclusion. So, this is also known as train law. So, anong ginawa nitong train law na to? It amends certain provisions of Republic Act number 8424. Kaya po sabi ko nga sa inyo, ang accountancy ay magandang procedural for law eh. Kasi marami po kami mga Republic Adel. Yan, the National Internal Revenue Code o NIRC of 1997. Ito po yung tax code na ginagamit po namin when we do, of course, when we assess, when we compute. Okay, lahat po ng mga nakalagay po doon ay considered po na so dapat sundin namin, no? Parang Bible, yan. Guiding principles when you are doing taxation. So ngayon po, ang ginagamit na po natin, as of the moment, is the Tax Reform, Acceleration, and Inclusion. Ano ba yung laman nitong ng train law na to? Ang focus po ng train law natin ay individual income tax, final income tax, estate tax, donors tax, value added tax, excise tax. Okay, yung mga excise tax po, kaya napansin nyo po parang tumaas yung mga automobiles natin, yung mga presyo ng sasakyan, kasi tumaas din po kasi talaga ang tax po nila. Yung mga mineral products, yung mga gamit po pang paganda, usually po yung mga dilagyan po ng excise tax, yun po yung mga hindi naman po talaga natin masasabing need. Okay? They are essential but actually they are not actually need. Pero parang mabubuhay ka naman kung wala sila, no? So may lagyan nila yun ng tax. Okay. Ano ba yung mga characteristics ng tax? Okay. It is enforced contribution. So ibig sabihin po, we are responsible of course to pay our taxes. Ibig sabihin kailangan, mandato, gawin mo, magbayad ka ng buwis. So yun po ang isa sa characteristic ng tax. It is payable in money. Okay? So hindi po tumatanggap ang BIR ng bayad sa kung kayo po ay may taxes, babayad po kayo ng mais, ng asin. So hindi po ganon. So yan po ang kanya isa sa it is payable in money. Proportional in character. Hindi po lahat kinukuha ni BIR. Okay? Hindi po kayo sinasabihan na, "Oy, lahat ng makikinita ninyo kukurot," yun ang term, kukurot ang gobyerno sa inyong kinikita. Kaya the more na malaki talaga yung kinikita natin, plus the more tayo ay natataksa ng malaki. Ay, hindi na lang ako kikita ng malaki. Hindi. Isipin natin na ginagawa natin yon para sa ikabubuti ng lahat. Okay, you are giving a part of yourself, okay, to the nation for their welfare. Kaya huwag niyo isipin na mabigat siya. Okay? It's levied on person and property. Ito yung ipinapataw sa tao at sa property as well. Then, it is levied on state that has jurisdiction over the person's property. May tinatawag po tayong situs, no, sa taxation. Kung saan ka nagtatrabaho, kung saan ka kumikita, doon ka magbabayad ng tax. For example, ako po, dating taga Manila po ako, doon ako nag-work. Nag-transfer po ako sa May Kawayan. Ako po ay nagbabayad na po ng aking taxes po sa May Kawayan. Yun. Then, it is levied by the law-making body of the state. Siyempre po, as a while ago, sinabi ko sa inyo kanina na levied po ito pinapataw ng mga gumagawa ng batas. Okay, legislative. Ayan. Tapos po, it is levied for public purpose or purposes. Basta po ito po dapat ay para po sa public purposes, para po sa tao. Parang katulad po natin, we are all actually a result of our taxes. Kaya tayo nakakapag-aral, kaya ako nagtuturo sa public, no? Yung sweldo na nakukuha ko, this is part of the taxes. Okay? And then, it is commonly required to be paid at regular periods or intervals. So, taxes, ito po yung mga taxes po natin na meron tayo sa Pilipinas. We have the capital gains tax. Kapag po kayo ay merong asset na binenta, yung gains po doon ay pinapatawan po. This is subject to tax. Yun po yung capital gains tax. Okay? Meron din po tayong tinatawag na estate tax. Yung estate tax po, ito po yung transfer tax na tinatawag po natin. Pag nag-BS accountancy po kayo, meron po kayong subject for this, transfer tax. So, estate tax po yun. Ito po yung, alam niyo na, pag heredera si tata, si ama, si ina, si lolo, si lola, mayaman, diba? Si don, ganyan. So, estate tax po, pag namatay po sila, meron po silang mga tinatawag nating last will of testament at yun po ay pinapamana po sa inyo po at kayo'y mayaman na, pero po meron po yun possible na taxes po na dapat pong bayaran. Pero po hindi yun basta-basta natataksan kagad, no? Meron po tayo mga threshold na tinatawag po natin. So, it will be discussed to you when you are already in college. Now, the donor's tax. It is another transfer tax, pero kanina, di ba, namatay. Ngayon po, pag donors naman to, gusto ko ng regalo. Pag may nirigalo ka sa akin, ito po ay napapatawa it is subject to taxes. Okay, meron siyang exemption. Dapat po beyond 250,000. Pero pag hindi naman umabot ng 250,000, hindi naman po siya matataksan, no? Pero pag beyond po 'yon ng 250,000, for example, sasakyan, ay may tax po talaga 'yon. Kahit po sa cash po, kapag nagbigay po tayo ng donation sa ating mga kaibigan, sa mga pagpapagawa ng yan po ay subject to tax po kapag beyond 250,000, and that is 6%. Then percentage tax. Okay, yung percentage tax po ay binibigay po to. Ito yung mga business tax imposed on persons. Okay, kapag kayo ay mayroong pong mga businesses. Okay? Sabing ganon dito, pero ang percentage tax po, kapag hindi po kayo non-VAT po yung inyong company or yung inyong business, yun po ay ipinapataw. Instead of having, of course, a VAT, 33%, something like that po, meron po talagang, percentage lang po ang kinukuha po natin. So, depende rin po yan sa sales na inyo pong dineclare. But it is your responsibility to declare the right sales that you have in your company or in your business. Then we have this documentary stamps. Yan po ay one-time tax po yan. So kapag kayo ay may mga assignment, may mga obligations, acceptance, and of course property po na deeds, parang deed of sales, yan. Nilalagyan po natin yan ng documentary stamps. Then of course, ito po, kapag tayo ay bumibili ng ating mga pagkain, lalo sa mga groceries, kumakain tayo sa mga resto, we have of course this what we call the value added taxes po. Okay, the value-added tax po ngayon ay 12%. Dati po, nung panahon ko, nung nag-accountancy ako, parang 10% pa lang. Ngayon, 12% na po siya. And of course, there will be another lesson for the computation of these taxes. Okay, then we have taxes. Income tax. Okay, pag kayo po ay nagtatrabaho at lahat po ng klase ng revenue po ninyo, kung kayo nagtatrabaho or may business, that is an income tax. Tapos po, meron po tayong tinatawag na withholding tax po kapag kayo ay purely compensated po sa isang company. So, ni-withhold po yan ng mga employer po ninyo. Tapos po, bawas na po yun sa inyong mga sahod. Now, let us practice po. Okay, this will be andyan pa ba kayo? Okay? Yan, good morning sa everyone, sa inyong pong lahat. So let's have now po our practice. Tignan natin kung naintindihan po natin ang ating mga pag-aralan ngayon, no? Let's have number 1. Match column A with an appropriate tax levied to an individual stated from the situation given in column B. Choose the correct letter of an answer. So, ano po yung tax na tingin po ninyo ay dapat ipataw sa sitwasyon po na ibibigay ko po sa inyo? Number 1, Miss Aiza Nolasco was taxed after she dined in on her favorite restaurant. Uy, kakasabi ko lang po nito. What do you think is the answer? Yes, Justin Fagol. It is letter F. Bagal. Now, let's have number 2. Miss Mia Arquiliano, CPA, was employed in San Miguel Corporation. And aside from that, she was also a part-time professor in FEU Manila. O yan. So what do you think is the tax levied for Miss Mia Arquiliano, the CPA? It is letter... Tingnan ko nga kung may answer. Yes, Kayla Come. Very good. You got the correct answer. That is income tax. Okay, next, number 3. Mr. John Ray Codera donated a piece of land to intended for church building. Okay, wow, ang yaman ni John Ray, no? Nag-donate siya ng piece of land for church building. Ano po kaya ang tax na ibibigay po o ile-levied kay John Ray do sa binigay po niya? Okay, it is letter, ano po? Ayan, tama po. Very good. Letter D. Number 4. Rani Balanta, grandson of Don Ranito Balanta, received an inheritance in a form of house and lot from his deceased grandfather. Wow. Kung sino man si Rani Balanta, no? Ang yaman niya na dahil meron na siyang house and lot na binigay ng kanyang lolo. So, kasi lang namatay ng kanyang lolo. So, what do you think is the tax or appropriate tax levied from Mr. Rani Balanta? Okay, number 4, it is letter E. Very good. It's estate tax. Yan. Now, let's have number 5, that the last but definitely not the least. Miss Rizalyn Limbaga is a certified public accountant. Tapos po, PRC authenticated her license. Teka, hindi ko makabasa. Wait. Board of Ratings document. Okay, pina-authenticate niya po yung kanyang lisensya sa PRC. Tapos po, pinabili po siya ng, what do you think? Ano po yung kailangan po na tax po or one-time tax na tinatawag natin o ONET, one-time tax transaction na kailangan ni Rizalyn Limbaga para sa kanyang PRC Authenticated License and Board of Ratings. Okay. Okay, sa ano po yun? Tama po, letter... Ayaw na. Wait lang po. Ayan. Letter... Letter C, very good. Letter C po, that is a documentary stub. Lahat po ng mga pinapa-authenticate po natin na mga documents po, kailangan po yan ng documentary stub. Even po yung mga TORs po natin, kailangan po yan ng documentary stub. Ayan. So, here are my references for this lesson. Okay? So, if you have nandito na po tayo sa huling part po ng ating lesson for today. And of course, for your feedback, pwede po nating iscan to. It will direct you para po sa inyong comments and suggestion to make our, of course, services mas maganda. Okay? Ayun, mas maging maganda at mas maging maayos po. Malaking bagay po na kung ano yung mga sinasabi nyo. If it is, of course, a good constructive criticism, mas maganda po yun. Siyempre, i-boost po yun ng aming mga moral as a tutor po, as a volunteer tutor. At kung ito naman po ay for our improvements, masaya din po kaming tatanggapin po yan. At dyan po si Tutor Mad, siya po ang makaka-receive ng inyong comments and suggestions. Anyway, maraming salamat po uli sa inyo pong pagsama sa akin ngayong araw po na ito. God bless you everybody, and thank you po sa lahat ng mga nandito po ngayon na patuloy po na sumasama at ETUlay sa amin. Naway po, nagawa po namin ang aming responsibility ngayon na itulay ang quality education sa lahat ng mga bata po na gusto pong matuto at gustong mag-aral. So everybody, God bless you all. At Tutor Carol, maraming salamat po for being with me today. God bless you and have a nice Friday po. Bye!
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag #ETUlayLevelUp. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!